Uh, so I'm somewhere around area 3 guarantee. I actually went to ShopRite to buy something. ShopRite at is it area 10, area 11, if I'm not mistaken. So on my way out, I was like, let me just do this quick video. I had to stop. Oh, I came back with my classic. Um, you know. So, um, so something that I kind of wanted to do that video yesterday. I don't know how I forgot. Oh, today is Sunday, 13th October 2024. So now it's about 4:07. Now, I know I've talked about it, but I'm not sure I've actually treated it as a subject or given it a title on the video. It's about 407 suspension. So let's see how it goes. If you know you have a 407 and you want to overhaul your front suspension, for whatever reason, maybe there's a noise coming from your front 407 suspension or from the front end of your 407, you don't know where it is, but you want to start from 407, from the suspension. If you don't have, right now in Nigeria, as of today, if you don't have at least minimum of 200,000 naira, do not embark on it. Just don't bother. When you have, then you can. If you don't have minimum of 200,000 naira, live with that noise until you can be able to deal with that. You have that amount. The reason why I'm saying that, because I know in the past, talking about recently, cases where people will call, and our advice based on the symptom they describe for that their 407 is showing. I'll be like, okay, this is most likely from your front suspension, and if you don't have up to this, don't bother. When you are ready, you have up to this, then you bring the car, then we'll start do the diagnosis and probably repair immediately. And sometimes some will be like, okay, maybe it might not be that serious, and they say, oh, they are ready. Only for us to go into that, and eventually I'll be proven right. So, and there are cases where I'll be like, okay, maybe because I can't actually cite, even though I know I've informed them, like verbally, but I'm going to do this video so that it will be like a concrete proof. I may not even need to even tell the person verbally. I just send them the link of this video so that they watch it and understand. Now tomorrow it might even change, because I don't how Nigeria economy is. But you understand what I mean by 200,000 naira so today. So if tomorrow maybe fuel becomes 3,000 naira a liter, at least understand what it means by today's 200,000 naira and tomorrow's 200,000 naira compared to today. If fuel increase to whoever knows, or if fuel drops to like 500 naira tomorrow, who knows? You understand what I mean? You're an adult, so be able to do that. Use that critical mind to understand the value of 200,000 naira today against value of 200,000 naira when fuel price is about 500 naira or 2,000 naira or 3,000 naira a liter. Who knows? Reason why I'm saying this is because 407 suspension is not something you could say, oh, let's dismantle it and then put it back because I can't afford to fix all the issues found. It's pointless. Don't do that. In fact, you realize that if you dismantle it because you can't fix it, as you're putting it back, more noise will increase. If the noise is just the only boom once in a while, oh, you start hearing a different sound of boom. Different kind of sound will come up. 407. Okay, this might sound somehow, but I'm going to say 407 is not a car for poor man. In other words, Let me use the Nigerian language you understand better. If you not get money, don't buy 407. Now I know some people will be like, oh come on, I don't make so much, yet I'd rather enjoy money. Of course you can. I mean, come on, there was a time I was running taxi. When I mean taxi, I'm not saying this corporate taxi now we call Uber, Bolt, whatever. No, I'm saying the actual taxi. As an undergraduate, I was running taxi, as in, you know what you mean by taxi. I was running with my former GM. From there, I could be able to make some money to be able to keep running the car. I was living off campus then, so that was what basically I would say I was using the money I was making for me to feed. No, but I was be able to make money from there to fly my car to school for lectures, do some repairs and the rest. Even though it wasn't a full-time taxi work, but I know after lectures in the evening time, I will run it because I didn't register the car then as under the road transport union. So it was basically in the evening time when I know they won't be, those staffs will not be out there to disturb me. I'll do it probably like 5, 6 p.m. up till maybe 9 p.m. at night. So I was still able to run a GL that is 2.0 that costs more to maintain than the 1.8 liter 504. Because the 2.0 consumes more, the parts cost more, and more things. So I'm not saying if you are not rich, you can't be able to maintain cars that are regarded to some extent as not necessarily a rich man's car, but men who are probably the middle class or a little bit above. That's my point. But the difference between you who can maintain that and those poor people who cannot maintain such vehicle is that you have those poor people who cannot maintain cars that are regarded to middle class, a little bit above middle class. They have a poor mind, poor man's mentality. While the other person has an accountability mindset. I'll say it again. The reason why the difference between the two, this group of two people that can, even though financially they cannot be able to handle a car like 407 and maintain it properly, the difference is the other person has a poor man's mentality. Even though, yeah, it might be poor, but the mentality is there, which mostly could be why he still stayed in that level. Or may not. Who knows? Anything can happen and you lose all your resources beyond your control. Why the other person who probably doesn't have even that up to that amount, but still be able to maintain the same vehicle, same 407, with the same person, probably that even earn more than could not maintain, is because that person has accountability mindset. The poor man's mentality is everything is the cause of why I'm where I am. Nothing is my fault. Nothing is the reason why. Maybe I caused this. Maybe it's this. No, it has to be somebody. Excuses. It has to be external. Whatever that caused this has to be external. It was not me. Or the government is the reason why this. So this other person is the reason. The bad road is the reason. This is the reason. Every other. It can never be. Oh, maybe I actually contributed to where I am. I'm not saying fully, but kind of. Why the other person, the accountability mindset? Okay, fine. Economy is in a mess. Government is not helping. They are making it worse. The roads are bad and this and that. But guess what? If I'm driving on that road, knowing fully well that speeding on bad road will mess this car, will deteriorate, will worsen, will break this car down much faster, I'm going to respect knowing that I can't afford to keep fixing it all the time. So I'm going to drive it gently, slowly on those kind of rough roads. Oh, I'm not going to speed even when the road is speed, because I know the faster my car goes, the more fuel it consumes. And I can't afford to keep buying fuel at this exorbitant price. So you know what? I'm going to reduce speed. I'm going to reduce bumper to bumper drive. Because the more I do bumper to bumper drive, the more it damages my bumper, and I can't afford, knowing that my income is not enough to keep changing this front bumper or rear bumper or keep calibrating, doing this. I'm going to drive gently so I don't get to increase the chances of me hitting my bumper to the vehicle in front of me, or the driving in such a crazy, stupid bumper to bumper drive that the person here following me behind might start doing the same thing and thinking that, oh, I'll be able to do the same thing with the vehicle in front, and then boom, behind me, maybe when I couldn't do that, or maybe when his brake is not good enough. That's what I'm saying, accountability mindset, to be able to say, okay, you know what, yeah, things are messed up, but man, at least I can be able to pay some. I can be able to help myself, irrespective of how bad the situation is, to reduce the cost of fixing, repairing, or using that vehicle. Back to the suspension. Even though you see centers around it, 407 suspension, I've talked about the complexity of that 407 compressor, which is why I say it's not a poor man's car. But however, you can see before and still be able to use it for years and hardly complain about it yet. It's not a bad design. I know some people will look at it as a bad design. No, it's not. You see that suspension? Yeah, I have issue with it. But also not complain much actually, because when you drive it, you understand why that they designed that suspension in that manner, made it that complex. Just because it costs more to maintain doesn't necessarily mean it's actually a bad design. No. When you drive a 407, you understand. What I mean when you drive 406, drive 407, man, come on. Especially the V6. Oh man. If the suspensions are in good condition, well, come on. Can't tell me. No matter how non-car person you are, you don't really care about all you know about point A to point B. When you drive both vehicles, come on, you tell there's a difference. Something that. So that means is it places, because of, for you to be able to handle the way it does, it places a lot of weight on the front suspension component, especially the lower ball joint. So before you know, it gives up much faster compared to the McPherson suspension that the legs are less, the weight of those components are less, so the lower ball joint hardly suffer, unless you are the type that drive on rough road, you know, very badly, or you know, that what I mean is careless, not just carelessly, as in you just don't give a rip about your car, because as far as concerned, government is the reason why your suspension is failing constantly, because they refuse to fix the road. Even when you can take some responsibility and say, you know, this road is bad, but at least let me drive it slowly so it doesn't fail as quickly as other people's own are doing. No, you just want somebody to blame, so you don't care, you keep speeding. So, yeah, that's how 407 suspension is. So, let me put it another way. If you know you cannot afford to keep fixing your 407 suspension all the time, which is expensive to repair, and you cannot but drive very roughly, very fast on potholes, on speed bumps, on, you are just that type, you are impatient type. No, you must drive very fast, any nature or condition of road, you don't care. You must do bumper to bumper drive. That's who you are. You can't change that. I mean, it doesn't matter what anybody says. Then 407 is not for you. Go for 406, go for 307. Even 307 suspension is kind of a little bit, I would say it's the maintenance cost is not as high as 407, but it's not close to, or it's not as less as 406, because of those their upper suspension component, that their gearbox, strut mount, that's shock absorber mount or strut mount. It's a mess. Brakes at will. New, used, it doesn't matter. So go for such ones so that even if as you are doing those, because even 406 will fail as you are driving wrong, but you spend less, it won't cost you as much as that of 406 to fix. These are the area. Take some responsibility to reduce the cost. It doesn't mean mine. I've done videos, I don't hide mine. How many times I've repaired my 407? Especially when I took it on a long journey. It took me almost 3 attempts eventually to, not even 3, because okay, I fixed the other bullshit, but the shock absorber, because I was focusing on getting the variable one, I wasted money on almost 2 attempts before I decided to go back to the conventional one, pending when again I will have the some money to throw at it again, see whether I can be able to get another used one that will serve. That will work. What I mean, work at least, because the ones I try, boom, it won't work. Boom, it won't work. Money is gone. So do not. There's only one case, situation where I would say, you know what, you may not need to wait to get up to that 200,000 naira or more to go and check your front suspension once you start making noise. And that is if your lower ball joint is weak, because that causes its own kind of noise. You can tell, but it's not, if I'm driving it, I can tell. Especially when it becomes terribly bad, to the point that I can pull out your anytime. You know, you see this Honda Accord, people complain about, especially from generation, from 8th generation downwards. Honda Accord 8th generation to, is it 5th generation? I can't remember. That use this double wishbone. That's how 407 behaves. The way they pull on the road, the only difference is 407 tends to last much or hold up much longer than those of the Honda Accord. The 9th generation Honda Accord, they have the McPherson control, that's standard one. It doesn't mean it's a bad design on Honda Accord. It just means they are designed for performance. Likewise, 407, the suspension. So those double wishbone or design like that will put more pressure on the lower part of the ball joint. So meaning that you have to renew it more often than the other one with simpler or that has only one ball joint. So in that case, yeah, I could tell you there are some noise you start hearing. Normally the ball joint, once it's weak, sometimes your car, there's a way it behaves when you turn the steering full or something, you can hear some noise or you may start dancing around a little from the front end. There are bushes that can do that on the front end, but I'm just saying. So have it checked. Even if the shock absorber is bad, this other one is bad, yeah, have it checked. Even if you can't afford it, replace those two first. Replace those two, then depending when you have the more resources, then you pull everything out and deal with the rest. Another thing that you may also be observant that you may not need to wait till it fails completely before you fix is the strut mount. Strut mount, or you call it shock absorber mount, but it's called strut mount, what Nigerians locally call shock absorber part. The 407 own, trust me, you don't want it to break on the bed. It might crack, but if you keep using it like that, keep hitting, and what kills it much faster is when you drive on bad road and your shock absorber is already weak. You keep hitting bad potholes or high speed bumps, you drive it on high speed, it's hitting constantly, keep bouncing. You see that mount, it pulls out. You see the shock absorber shaft, it will pull out, hit your distance, hit your bonnet up. You don't want that. You could lose your life in that process. Be very careful. As I say, 407 is not false. If you don't get money, don't buy. If you buy, be ready to spend. If you're not ready to spend them, have some accountability mindset. Be able to use the car and spend less on suspension repair. There are people that own 407 that hardly do such, those spend money on repairing their suspension compared to other users of 407 as well. Even in some Abuja, because some people say, oh, but you live in Abuja, that's why you are saying all this. If you come to other states, the roads are very bad. I'm telling you, there are some majority that also lives in Abuja that their own feels like I don't even know. It's like almost every week their suspensions are failed again. Almost every week. Yet there are some in Abuja, some even live in the city that don't even live outside, satellite towns that most of the roads are bad. Yet they hardly replace theirs or repair theirs or overhaul theirs because of how they drive on this bad road. It doesn't mean if you drive slowly that it doesn't have impact on it, but you extend it longer. It will take much longer time to break them compared to you that are speeding. You think it doesn't have effect on them. You are killing them much faster. Then when it comes to repairs, you now say, oh, but it's too much now. Why would I spend so amount on fixing suspension of full set? It's only the front. I'm not even talking about the back. The reason why I'm focusing on the front is because that's where where it fails more often. The rear one is just the standard multi-links suspension you find similar to that of 406 and some other Peugeot 508, some other Peugeot cars. So they hardly have those kind of wear on the rear. The front end 407 is something else. But then when you drive it, you understand why. Difference is there. It's performance, as in there's no two ways about it. So if you want to enjoy it, then be responsible and have some accountability that, hey, if you mess it up, it's on you. If you drive it carefully on such low condition, then you have nothing to worry about. So that's all I have to say. So don't say, so these two cases is where I could say, okay, you know what? Maybe you may go and change the mount, change the lower ball joints just to be sure that it doesn't break down. Even if every other part is bad, keep managing one till you get enough fund to do the entire overhaul. Or you be very careful how you do that, drive your car. So I think that's all I have. So yeah, some will see complain that, hey, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you what I'm telling you now so that tomorrow you find yourself in that situation and you don't have enough funds. It's on you. You have no business. So I have one too. So I'm not telling you as if you don't know what it's like. I'm telling you also as an owner, not just as someone that repairs for other people. Okay, so hope this makes sense. Well, if it doesn't, I don't know. I can only put the information out there for free. Those who will observe it will observe and make use of it. Those who will complain or find some loopholes to complain about it, they will. Okay, alright, you can like and subscribe to this channel and like this video, subscribe to the channel so that any other similar more videos as I'm putting them out, you'll be getting the notification to help yourself to keep your cars, reduce the cost of maintaining your vehicle, avoid abusing your vehicle. There's so much information I put out there that nobody in this world is doing, especially with regards to Peugeot. Nobody in the world so far. I'm the only one. Go on YouTube, search, go on any part of the world. I'm the only one doing that specifically for Peugeot. Other people are doing, but not at the rate that I do. But I don't expect people to appreciate that because it's for free. So, all right.